All right, I guess we can open the meeting at 6 o'clock. We have a quorum, but no visitors. So we can first make an announcement that this meeting is being taped by Area 58. If you'd like to start with the allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes. Mr. Nesbitt.
Yes, I will make a motion to approve the following Selectmen minutes, regular session, February 27th, 2024. We'll do that separately.
I'll second.
Yep.
Any discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And one abstention.
One abstention.
Okay,
Yeah.
passes by majority.
And then I'll also make a motion to approve the executive session Selectmen minutes from March 12th, 2024.
I'll second. Any discussion? All
Nope.
those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Warrants.
I move to approve the following warrants and commitments. Vendor warrant number 85 for $249,158.36. Ambulance commitment from 3/4/2024 to 3/10/2024 for $14,840.38.
Second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
I move to the following warrants and commitments. Payroll warrant number 86 for $454,509.12. Vendor warrant number 87 for $195,497.16. Withholding warrant number 88 for $154,491.21. Ambulance commitments from 3/11/2024 to 3/17/2024 for $48,893.74.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Are you Mr. Green or Mr. Baker?
No.
Mosquito.
Who?
Mr. Mosquito.
No, not here for any appointments or anything.
No, sorry.
That's all right.
All right, well, let's go down the list here. So we have update budget, town meeting warrant, and fine timeline.
Yes, so you may recall, we were initially planning to vote the warrant tonight, but with some of the budget hiccups with the school, we've had to push that off. So I provided here in your packet just kind of an updated timeline of what we're looking at. So the school committee is meeting on April 1st. Our finance committee is also meeting that night. Our finance committee is going to work to tighten up our side of the budget and start voting their recommendations for the town meeting articles. And I will plan to attend the school committee meeting on April 2nd. Our admin team is meeting with the school department's admin team to review the budget of the elementary school. And then on April 3rd, we're planning to have a joint meeting, Board of Selectmen, Finance Committee, and school, really to go over the school budget. And then also, we were planning to have a Board of Selectmen and Finance Committee joint meeting anyways to discuss budget. So we're going to do that all in one night. At that point, we'll take any feedback, any requested changes, information, work over the next several days to incorporate that. Finance Committee will vote their recommended budget on April 8th. We then will bring that to you in the full warrant, your regular meeting on the 9th. We have to approve the warrant at that point. And then on the 10th, Pam and I will work to tighten up formatting and get the warrant out to print so everyone can get it in their mailboxes 2 weeks before town meeting, which is May 13th.
So the warrant is this, we have an example right here.
This is a draft, so when we get to that item, I'll walk you through some of the articles we're looking at for this year. It's a pretty good grasp. I don't really anticipate anything else, but one or two more things could come up, and obviously we still need to work out the figures with the budget, but give you an idea of what we're looking at.
Any questions?
No, it looks tight, right? There's not a lot of wiggle room.
Okay, town meeting warrant preview.
Yeah, so also in your packet is a draft of the warrant. It's pretty status quo for this year. So articles, 1 through 4 are typical. Article 1 will be the hearing of town reports and officers and committees. Article 2 will be the wage and personnel bylaw amendments as voted by wage and personnel. Article 3 sets the salaries of our elected officials. Article 4 is our operating budget. Article 5 sets the maximum amounts for our revolving funds. Again, another housekeeping article in there. Article 6 is the appropriation to our reserve fund. So we historically have appropriated $75,000 for our general fund and then $50,000 for our water department out of their retained earnings. Article 7 is approval of the solar pilot. So at this point, this is a placeholder article. Our council is still working with our assessing department to negotiate that pilot. If we are able to have it in time, we will have it on. If not, this is something that we'll just skip over.
Where is this project? Is this the Hemlock Street?
No, this is River Street, the other River Street solar field. So last spring town meeting voted to authorize negotiations. So this would be to approve the actual pilot. So if we have something that we feel is advantageous to the town, it'll be presented. If not, we'll skip over it, but we want to have it on there. Article 8 is funding of the capital plan. The capital planning committee did meet last night and presented their recommendation, or voted on their recommendation. We're anticipating about $600,000 in free cash to use for capital items. Capital planning committee voted $74,400 for turnout gear for the fire department, $100,000 to handle mold remediation at the fire department, $120,000 for 2 police vehicles, $300,000 for road maintenance. Those things were all out of our free cash or surplus revenue. And then in the water department, it was voted $500,000 for water treatment plant upgrades. So this was a project that was already approved. The town meeting approved us to bond for the project. Our retained earnings in the water department is very healthy, well over $1 million. So the thought is to use more of that money so we don't have to bond as much and to bring that amount down. And then another $25,000 for the water department. They're looking to buy a mini excavator from our highway department. So we got a new one for the highway department. Rather than continue to have to borrow it and it's not always available, it makes sense for the water department to have their own and buy the one from the highway department. Article 9. So Article 9 is the CPA article stuff that we've talked about. Article 10 is for again, these are housekeeping articles for the South Coastal County Legal Services, $3,500. Article 11 is for the South Shore Resource and Advocacy Center, $3,500. Article 12 is the $150 for the trustees for County Cooperative Extension Services. Article 13 is the demand fee. So right now our demand fee, this is if you have a tax bill that you don't pay, you're late on, we charge a demand. Right now it's $5. We are very low. There aren't any other communities that are $5. So in speaking with our treasurer collector, she's spoken with other communities. They recommend that we raise that just to stay in line with what other towns are. 15 is still on the low side, but that was the proposal, is to raise that to 15.
Is that really hot? How often does that happen?
Quite often.
Oh, does? Yeah. Shouldn't this be proposed by the collector's office?
Typically, if it comes through this way, we just have had it proposed by the Board of Selectmen, but we can have it proposed by.
I mean, I'd just rather have somebody who knows what it's all about to speak to it instead of one of us that doesn't.
We can change that, yeah. Article 14 is to fund the middle school resource officer part-time at Silver Lake Middle School. Article 15 is $25,000 for an HVAC unit at Silver Lake. So this was, town meeting approved this at the spring town meeting in 2023. The amount we were given by Silver Lake, unfortunately, it seems like was not, the costs have increased since then. So we have to allocate another $25,000 to cover the cost of that. And then Article 16 is just the, for the election. And that's what we're looking at for the warrants for this year.
First one I've ever seen.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's good. Well done. So we don't have to take any action on this.
Nope, just wanted to bring it to your attention so you get a chance to see everything prior to having to vote it all the same night.
John, you might want to pull down your microphone a little bit.
Just keep forgetting about that. Being a radio guy.
Face for radio.
All right, let's see, school department update.
Yes, so I just, again, want to put this on the agenda. We talked about this at the last meeting, some of the financial difficulties facing the Silver Lake. So at the combined school committee meeting, which a few of us were at, they did vote for the Silver Lake to reduce their budget by approximately $800,000. And then they're going to use basically their E&D funds, which is one-time money, similar to our free cash, to offset their budget for 1 year by $750,000, with the idea that next year they're going to have some revenues to make up for that. So they were able to bring their costs down, and now Halifax Elementary is working to adjust their budget to meet what the town can afford. So again, we're kind of in a holding pattern as we do that because they're not meeting until the 1st. And so once we have that information on the 1st, then we can really start to move forward. But that's kind of what's been going on behind the scenes.
That'll all be finalized by the 3rd when we meet with...
The idea is to have that joint meeting on the 3rd to go over everything. But the school committee is planning to vote a budget on the 1st at their meeting and then present it to the town basically on the 3rd.
Okay, good. Any questions? Greater Attleboro Taunton Transit Authority contract. We had a presentation on this a while.
Yeah, so you had a presentation on this, and then you voted to formally request to join GATRA. So we have been accepted into their membership in order to start reaping the financial benefits of that. This is a contract with them. Town council has reviewed it. It really just lays out our obligations, and there's a financial sheet, and this allows us to start invoicing GATRA so we can start getting reimbursements from them. So the idea is the contract is dated March 1st. They may or may not allow us to backdate it. If not, it would be April 1st. But we can work through the logistics of that, and I would just request that if you don't have any questions, you approve the contract and authorize me to sign on your behalf.
Okay. And it is this looks like you're going to sign it, not the board.
There's, the financial information we just have to throw in still. So I'm just pulling together the data from the Council on Aging still, as far as financials.
You have a question?
Yes, have you read that?
Yeah. Well, we looked through it. I haven't read it in detail. What have you?
Okay, you're not going to allow anybody to sign it before you read what all the obligations are.
We just had it,
correct?
he just told you that town council went through it and has...
I know, but sometimes it's really good for, the Board of Selectmen to read through it, especially with your,
Yep.
attorney background. It would be really awesome if you would read it to make sure that we don't have any obligations. Such as when I told you about the Complete Streets one, that was a grant, but Complete Streets, by just applying for it, we allowed the Massachusetts Department of Transportation to change any of our laws. I think that was a big ask, and it's kind of scary for our future, you know what I'm saying? So I would 100% read that and make sure there isn't anything in that document such as that. Like, for instance, the Regional Board of Health, the SAFE agreement, that is only a 2-year grant, and then afterwards, and still during, the CDC can circumvent your Board of Health and make decisions such as forced masking, forced vaccinations, and things like that. And everybody can have their own desire on that, but it's taken away the freedoms of America. So I would absolutely read every last bit of that and make sure, because a lot of the things coming down are not what we want in this.
Okay. All right, thank you. Any other?
I'd like to see if I could get a copy of that, so I can read it, please.
Sure, if you send me an email, I will absolutely send it to you.
Yes.
If you just send me, just so...
Oh, an email?
Yeah,
I believe
and I
so.
will send it to you.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's a pretty standard.
Yeah, through my review, there's nothing that obligates the town to anything like that. We can get out of the contract at any point with a notice, a 30-day notice to them. It really just puts it, they're allowed to then count our riders and their ridership, because then they get federal funding. That's the advantage to them. And then our monies that go to the MBTA right now that we don't get anything for ultimately would get rerouted to GATRA, and then we would invoice them for our costs. So the driver's salaries, any fringe benefits, repair and maintenance of the vehicles, the cost of supporting our operation for the transportation. So like our administrative staff over there, their oversight, a percentage of that will be reimbursed. And so we're estimating we'll probably be able to, whatever's allocated to the MBTA, we'll be able to get back annually, that full amount. So this past year was a little over $50,000. And look at expanding our transportation services. And we still have total control. It's, they're not looking to come in and run the operation. That we're going to be basically a subcontractor of GATRA and then invoice them.
And I believe Plimpton and Kingston are GATRA communities as well, is that correct?
Yes, they are.
There's a lot of them besides those.
Yeah.
All right, any other discussion on the contract?
Can we make sure that can we table that until we read that?
I'm sorry, say that
Can we
again?
table that to the next meeting so we can read it in full and detail?
We have had a chance to look through it, we have, the lawyers looked through it, I don't know when it has to be done by, I thought,
Well, it's just a matter of when we get it done, we can start submitting that for reimbursement. So you can, if you're not comfortable and you'd rather wait, we can wait. It just
I mean, I
prolongs the reimbursement.
don't know what the board thinks.
I mean, I've read through it. It makes sense to me.
Gosh.
I read through it. I read through it today, actually. And as much as I know and what I've heard from Cody, it makes sense to me.
And the
You know,
presentation.
the little intricacies, that's what I'm looking out for, they can run these different.
I can say the only comment by council was in the liquidated damages clause that the recommendation was to require a notice, so they can't just hit us with liquidated damages. They have to say, hey, this is a concern, we're going to give you 2 weeks to take care of it. And then if you don't, I brought that to their attention, and they agreed to our changes that council recommended.
Okay, I mean, I'm satisfied with it, so I'll make a motion that we approve the GATRA contract.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. All right, we have 6:15, I think, so we have a applicant here for, let's see, Mr. Green? Hi, how are you? Good. So you are here for the Alewife Restoration Project? Right. First of all, appreciate your interest in serving the town, working for the town. And do you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself and what your interest is in this project?
Well, I've always been an outdoors person, fished a lot, hunted and trapped when I was younger. Got a degree in natural resources management, a wildlife biology minor. I ran state parks for 32 years.
Wow.
Know all the trees, plants, water, aquatics. Just always been into the outdoors. Jeremy with fishing, said they were looking for somebody on the committee.
Okay. Have you talked about, do you know what's
A
involved?
little bit about it, if you tell me more.
Well, Jeremy's here. Why don't you explain, it's your idea, Jeremy, so just explain so everybody knows what he's getting into.
Okay, so basically it involves working with various nonprofits, landowners, private landowners, nonprofit landowners, state agencies, federal agencies, and restoring the herring run to Monpont, which is the last remaining and largest breeding ground left in the state that they cannot access for river herring. Alewife being the main one. Alewife and blueback herring are two different things, but they're both called river herring. So it's over basically over 800 acres if you count Upper Robbins Reservoir, Sunbrook, and all that. It's basically just working with those agencies, communicating with other like nonprofits and organizations about restoring the natural flow of Stump Brook, aka Monpont Herring Brook, aka Snaky River. It's got 3 names, which is going to require a lot of work, especially within Burridge. We have a lot of old infrastructure that is getting clogged with debris that's slowing the water flow and all that. That's going to require work in the field, work in the water, and, digging out dead plants and stuff that are clogging up the culverts, and then hopefully working on making it to where the river is restored to a more healthy way, which it used to flow towards the Taunton River. And it's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take some money to do that, but I think we can do it.
You're a perfect person for this, it sounds like, so it'd be a wonderful thing. How do you feel? Like, you understand that's what has to be done, and
it's fine.
you're good with that? Okay, good. Anybody on the board? have any-
How are you with time commitment? Because I was joking with Jeremy.
I'm retired at 50.
Perfect, because
I have a lot of interests, I travel a lot, I do a lot of things, but
Okay.
a lot of sports, a lot of different things.
nice.
I'm around.
Because I joke, I think the work on this committee is going to be front-heavy. You know, I think you guys are going to be, I joked you guys would be on the Mount Rushmore of this committee because it's a lot to do to make up for a lot of time that we haven't been doing anything. So I appreciate you stepping forward and ready to
Thank
contribute.
Jeremy for twisting my arm.
We told him he had to
He
get
didn't set a hook in you when you were...
No, who is he fishing for here?
Fishing together when he started talking to me about it. Yeah.
So he caught one. All right, great.
That's it.
Good, that's good. I mean, you're a perfect candidate, so I think it's wonderful that you bring that kind of knowledge and expertise into this committee, this committee's been around probably 25 years, and it hasn't really accomplished anything yet, so
We're going to accomplish it.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'll make a motion to appoint Mr. Green as a member of the Alewife Restoration Committee. Pam, do these term?
It's an open term.
Open term?
An open term.
Open term. I'll second that.
All right, any discussion from the board?
No, thank you.
All those in
Thank you very
favor
much.
say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations.
Thank you.
to the board.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Out.
Thank you. How are you doing?
All right, next. Let's see, we don't have Mr.
Mr. Baker's not here yet. No.
Okay, so let's deal with, we have a request from the Beautification Committee on April 13th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. to use the town hall, to use the town green, I guess.
Yep.
And they'll be handing out materials and doing a townwide cleanup. So, and you're not here for this, are you?
Not really, but we are doing the cleanup for 2 weeks this year.
I noticed that.
Is there's people out today?
There might be people out today. Some people have been picking up.
I was at the farm stand and I was like, someone's like in the woods.
Picking up. Good. We like that.
It's kind of becoming a trend.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes.
I hate seeing the stuff on the ground.
Me too.
Always- I make my father go out in front and go ahead, break that up.
I used to use this dumpster all the time.
Yeah, it's gonna be back.
And I went back for-
He'll be back. They're just paving, so.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve use of the town green on April 13th from 9 until 12?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's unanimous. Well, we're at it. Let's reappoint, give a reappointment to the
Cultural Council. Yeah.
With Kendra Kelly. Lost the paper here, but anyway, she wants to be on the cultural. She's been on before. I think her term just expired.
Yeah.
Pam, when does this term expire?
It's a 3-year term.
2020, it's been expired since February, so 2027. All right, do we have a motion to appoint Ms. Kelly, reappoint Ms. Kelly to the Cultural Council?
Sure. I will make a motion to reappoint Kendra Kelly to the Halifax Cultural Council effective 2/11/24 to expire 2/11/27.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Okay, Water Commissioner meeting?
Yeah, so this came about as feedback, speaking individually with you guys, that it may be good to just have a joint meeting with the Water Commission. You know, there's been a lot of discussions around town, water quality, and different projects going on. So I reached out to Bill Lindsay, their superintendent, to see if we could have them in for a meeting a few months ago. This has been in progress. Bill responded that they could make the 9th work, but they would request that you guys go over there for the meeting. They would not be looking to come over here for the meeting. So I just wanted to present it to see if it's something you want to move forward with, and also if there were specific topics that you'd like to discuss, so I can provide that to Bill so we can let the water commissioners know.
Why did they want us to go over there? Is that what they said? Is it because of a timing thing or something?
No, that was just their preference. I did welcome them over here.
Tuesday, the November 9th, we vote on our full warrant.
Yeah, we have a meeting here.
Yeah, so
I don't-
they had said that they, we could accommodate 5:30. It is a busy meeting, so we could look to do it a different night, but it would be good if you're still interested in doing it, just to know some topics, so I can share the information with them and.
I mean, the only topic I have is water quality and some of the repairs, and I don't know, I assume that-
That's, mine was, when I talk to folks, it's water quality, it's the status of our wells and repairs. I'd love to just get an update from them on what's going on there.
Let's see something. So what I wanted to remind us to do would be to do like we did last summer with the road show. And so one of the places we haven't been yet is the Water Commission. So we could start our road show this year there. Be good, but I don't think the 9th is going to work.
So do we want to try to do one of the meetings in May?
I would say
And then
so.
we could kick off.
That'll be the
road show
kickoff.
and
Why don't we do that?
throughout the summer?
Yep.
Okay, I'll coordinate with them, see what date would work.
Yeah, that'd be good.
While you're doing that, if you want to just kind of sketch out a schedule for the rest of the summer.
Absolutely.
I mean, Council on Aging and the Police Department, we weren't really able to make the buildings work, although we did have them come in, which maybe we'll do again. But the fire department, could ask the highway department if they want to be involved again. So I think it's a good thing because it's very, just gets us out of here.
Sure.
And also, get closer contact with people.
So I have water quality, repairs, well status. I know they want to talk contract negotiations, which we would have to do an executive session. But is there anything else that the board would, just so I can give them the topics at a time?
No, I mean, we get complaints. We heard the complaints about, water discoloration, so on, so on, so forth. And I think that's really all our interest is.
Very good. I will coordinate with them and let you know.
All right. So we did Mr. Green. We may as well go down our updates on the following.
Yeah, so MBTA action plan, we're still working on that. The zoning bylaw review committee has met, and we think we have a draft proposal that would really result in little to no impact to actually the town. So we submitted that to the pre-approval process from the state just to see if it's something that would even comply. Initially, they were looking at 30 days. Now I was notified we're looking at about 90 days before they get back to us.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there.
90 days from now?
I submitted it earlier, or last week, I think,
April,
so.
May, June. They do know we have to do something in our September or October, right?
So we'll, at this point, it's kind of just, seeing what they come back with, any feedback there. Morris Brothers, they're continuing their operation. There was nothing to do with their earth removal, but they did have a piece of equipment that spilled some diesel into the pond. In the reports, it was, and our team immediately responded, so our fire department responded, our board of health responded, immediately contacted DEP. It was well under 10 gallons, so, they followed the process, but this was, I just want to make it known that this was in conjunction with their cranberry operation, as they were flooding the bogs. This had nothing to do with the earth removal process, but just, to be transparent with everyone, that is what happened. And then training for boards and committees. We continue to look for different opportunities to train our boards and committees. And
Could I just circle back on the MBTA? We did sign letters tonight, correct, for?
so we'll
Send
send
our-
those. You had voted previously to send letters to the local delegation, just similar to, what we had said before, looking for them to explain, to us, to the town, how this came about, why it was supported, and what their plan is for, there's certainly impacts on Halifax, and what is their plan to support Halifax. And we also requested that they come in and we could have some sort of public forum where we invite all the residents and they can express their concerns to our state reps.
Awesome. Thank you.
Can I make a comment?
Go.
Chairman Gillespie, non-risk So yeah, about the oil spill, you said under 10 gallons, DEP said approximately 10 gallons. I was there Thursday afternoon because it's right on the water line. They were definitely excavating along the shoreline. They don't have a permit for that. Secondly, I observed some things out there that weren't there a few days before, like an underwater pump that they weren't permitted to have. There was still oil in the water the next day. I have samples of it. I have samples of vegetation soaked in diesel. So there was tow straps on the bank. I think it's a bigger deal than you're making out. This is a public water spot lake. They didn't mark that box on the forms, but it is. And nobody told Brockton to stop diverting, which is a problem. They should have been told to stop diverting immediately to let it flush downstream. That didn't happen. So it's not good what they're doing back there. It's really bad. Considering we're 0 for 4 on our town wells, we're spilling diesel in the lake. They have unpermitted pumping devices under the water. That's a fact. Just want to make that comment.
I don't know.
What do you mean 0 for 4 on wells, Jeremy?
Well, we have 4 town wells. How many of them are providing us water right now?
2.
2. So we're not getting our water from Silver Lake?
We're getting some of our water from Brockton, but not all of our wells are
Not all.
down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's 2 wells providing us water and the rest is coming from Silver Lake?
We don't get water from Silver Lake.
I think that's
Through Brockton, yeah, through Brockton.
Or even surface water.
So we get, again, providing the information, I'm not an expert in this, but I do rely on our experts. I trust DEP.
So, I mean, if the water department would be a little bit more clear on that, I think that everybody would appreciate it because it
Why
seems
don't
like
you
it'd
put
be kind of
that,
kept in the
why
dark.
don't we put that on our list of things to discuss with them?
Absolutely.
What is it exactly?
What are you talking about exactly? Like what?
Where are we getting our water?
Okay, that's an easy.
Pretty simple question.
Yep, we'll ask them that. So we'll make that part of that agenda.
I would note too, the water commissioners have meetings regularly, and they oversee water in town. We work with them collaboratively, we work with the water department, but we really have no jurisdiction over what the water department does. They're elected water commissioners, and yeah, you as voters, you elect them, and they oversee the operation.
Right, so a lot of these questions should go to them, but we're going to have a meeting with them anyway, so we'll talk to them about it.
There was a notice on the town website stating that we were receiving water from Silver Lake.
Where'd you guys get all 4 wells are not working?
I guess it was the town notice kind of like made us think that, because we already knew that Richmond Park was undergoing renovations and filtration because.
But that's the 3rd time I've heard that in like the last 2 days.
If
I
somebody,
didn't give my thoughts.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on at Richmond Park, if they're done with whatever process they were having.
Okay.
So I'd love to know.
Yeah, no, I get.
I don't know.
So absolutely, I
I
can
hear
tell you affirmatively, all of our wells are not down.
Yep.
We do have
Yeah, they're down.
2 wells that were our choice. We took them out of
Scheduled.
operation,
Scheduled.
scheduled because of the upgrades. And the reason for us having to purchase water from Brockton, I don't have the actual gallons that we're purchasing, but basically is there's peak demands, right? Certain times when the town's using more water and the wells that are still operational can't keep up with the peak demand at sometimes. So that's why we're having to purchase water from Brockton at sometimes. But the water department would be the better one
What you're
to.
saying, Cody, doesn't make any sense. We're at the peak of the high water table. We're not at peak usage right now.
I'm talking peak usage is time of day. So there's certain times of day when the residents use more water than other times.
The wells can't keep up with pumping out that much water.
Down to
We
2.
have no shortage of water in this
We're
town.
not talking about shortage of water. The wells on one side of the town can only pump so much. So when you have another side that's down because of maintenance, You have to pump
You have
more
to
water from
make up
somewhere
for
else. Wells can only, machine well pumps can only pump so much water per gallon a minute.
They have a capacity.
Yes.
Well, I think, again, that's really, we're telling you what we know, but the water department that's their empire. They handle,
Yeah.
they handle the wells, they handle the water.
And their meetings are open too, right?
Yeah.
Open meetings.
Oh, yeah.
It's public meetings, so.
Okay, Mr. Baker?
Yes.
So, welcome. You're here for the Alewife Restoration Committee? Okay. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about your interest in it and how you got involved and so on?
Yeah,
Or what you, first, we probably should start with, do you know what's involved?
Because Jeremy will tell you.
Talk to the guy behind you.
Jeremy's
Yeah.
filled me in a little bit.
Okay.
Looking to get the alewife and the river herring up, get them up in Monpont again. I think that'd be great.
Yep. Well, it sounds like there's some kind of administrative type work, maybe talking with various stakeholders, but it seems like, to me, it sounds like a high percentage of the effort would be physical kind of labor, like cleaning out the streams and doing those kind of things. And that, you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. And I see in your application, South Shore Wild Ones, what's that?
Wild Ones is a national organization, and I'm the president of our South Shore chapter. It's basically a gardening club focused on using native plants in the landscape.
Oh, no kidding. Very good. Wow. Okay, and your interest in this is because Jeremy talked you into it like he did?
Were you fishing?
Are you fishing too?
Actually, I don't fish much. I'm just passionate about the environment, and I thought this looked like
Yeah.
a good fit, something I could help out with.
It's just something I mentioned before, the committee's been in existence probably at least 25 years. It's been more or less dormant most of that time. Jeremy has really been an inspiration to try to get it going, so he's hopeful that it'll develop and the fish will come back up like they used to generations ago, I guess, so. Anybody on the board?
No, I mean, I know Dave. How are you, Dave? Friendly with Dave, neighbors. And I know Dave's passionate about the environment. I walk by his house a lot with the dog, and he's got a butterfly garden that's essentially it's his whole front yard, you know? I do. So I know you're passionate and care about the environment, you know, and I think that's the kind of people we need, so thank you for stepping up.
Okay, any other questions?
No, I appreciate it.
All right.
Jeremy's going out and getting everyone on.
I know, thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you for the
perfect cause
recruiting.
to do it, so.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll make a motion to appoint Mr. Baker to Alewife Restoration Committee.
Gladly second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Thanks, Dave.
I think that completes our agenda.
Just some more updates I had for staffing and operations.
Yep.
So we issued the request for qualifications for the owner's project manager for the Council on Aging project. So moving forward with that, once we have those proposals, we'll have a team evaluate them and then bring the selected project manager to you guys for a contract approval with them. And then that'll allow us, they'll help us with the design and
This is for
engineer.
a project manager.
Yes, and then they will help us with the procurement for the design and engineering, which we will get up to bid. We'll go through that process, and then once we have designed and engineered the building, then we'll go up to the procurement for the actual construction of the building. So this is really step one on our side. The COA had a really nice lunch on Friday in honor of St. Patrick's Day, so it was great. Jonathan was there. I was able to attend. Representative Lenatra was there. A representative from Senator Brady's office was there. A great turnout. I mean, I'd say probably close to 100 seniors.
Yeah, it was great.
Were there.
Music was awesome.
Yep, live entertainment. So yeah, kudos to the Darlene, our Council on Aging director, and the staff over there did an excellent job. We are investigating the feasibility of putting in some fast EV chargers over at the playground. So there's companies are getting significant incentives from the federal government right now. So there may be an opportunity for us to put those in at no cost to the town.
Nice.
And provide those as a service to the community.
Do we, so if there was no cost to the town, but somebody wants to use it to charge their cars, do we who pays for the electricity?
We would charge them to charge their cars. Massachusetts has a law where we cannot profit on the electricity, so we would charge basically what we pay for the electricity. And then you can charge some other costs to help pay for the infrastructure, right? So if there's, a maintenance plan or something, that goes along with the actual charger, you can make up for those costs, but you can't just purely profit off of electricity as a third party is what we would ultimately be. So we're in the early stages of that, but Kathy Stanley, our energy manager, has been working on that and just checking the viability. When we talked, where would be a good place in town to consider, we thought that was great because so much kind of traffic over there, people coming in, it'd be a great spot. And those fast chargers are 45 minutes you can get a full fill up if you have a fully electric vehicle.
As an EV owner, you look for those fast chargers.
Yeah.
Those are sent, yes. Well, compared to the one at your house.
5 minutes in the gas.
The one at my house takes me 12 to 14 hours, so, yeah, exactly. So the fast charging ones would be fantastic.
Yep, so we're early stages of that.
I like it, but
See if anything comes up.
At the same time.
I also want to provide an update on the library bathrooms. So we've had some issues over there, continuously being put out of service. Scott and his team have done an excellent job, so I just want to say kudos to them for continuously responding. And you're talking probably 5-6 times over the last few months with the bathrooms clogged, calling out plumbers. So at this point, we do have a porta potty over there that is available. It's right out front of the library entrance. And we also have the bathrooms operational. The bathrooms right now inside the building are for staff only. We're asking the patrons to use the porta potty until we can figure out a long-term solution. We're just not sure what the issue is, but again, just want to keep everybody updated. We are providing, facilities over there, and we're working towards a long-term solution. Just trying to figure out what the issue is.
Is there any difficulty with the plumbing in the school building, in the elementary school? So just in the library?
And a lot of it has been, they've just found items that would clog, almost any toilet in the plumbing. So, when there's things like multiple diapers thrown down there, it's very hard to prevent clogging.
It's probably more traffic from the playground.
It's young kids, yeah, it's the playground crew.
There's also, things where the piping was designed with high flow toilets, right? And when the building was built, you had toilets probably 3 or 4 gallons that it would flush. Now the highest you can get is like 1.6 gallons, so that doesn't help, in getting everything down the toilet. So we're looking to see if we can get some toilets that maybe could help. Again, Scott's been doing a great job, but it has been a concern. I wanted to make sure you guys were aware of it and also just update the community that we are working on it.
But it's not like you have to dig out all the plumbing and redo the septic and all that.
Not the septic. There has been discussion that the pitch of the pipes probably isn't the most ideal, that they probably should have been pitched a little bit differently to help the gravity flow. But I think we're too early in the process to identify that's the issue. We just know it's an issue. Scott and his team are working on it. And in the meantime, we've gotten the porta potty over there as just so we can continue operating, providing services for people.
I wonder if we could look at.
There's also the restrooms down at the ball field, right?
That's not always open.
Yeah,
Down
no,
at the
it's-
snack shack, yeah, they're only open essentially when there's ball games going on.
I wonder if we could look into like we have the restrooms down there, we have restrooms up at the, it's a cost. So
Yeah, no, it'd be a cost.
Just to see what it would be, you know what I mean? Have their own,
Have the playground have their own restroom?
Scott mentioned it. I think it's something we can look at.
I'm just thinking, you know what I mean?
Long-term, but-
Yeah,
The one down at the ball field was built with volunteer
yeah.
Yeah,
fundraising.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's hard to find staffing, even for just the ball games, so you don't want to leave them unattended.
Okay.
So here we go.
On plumbing, if we find in diapers and that in the plumbing, it's not really the plumbing's fault, it's behavioral.
Right.
That's
So
what I'm asking.
do we have a sign in the library bathroom that says,
Yep, and we got diaper genies and signs. We've done everything. Yeah.
would it be worth it for a while that everybody who was library staff maybe just said, when they see somebody coming in from outside, remember, please don't flush anything besides toilet paper down? I mean,
Probably are. Yeah.
many
I know
different
they have been-
options
I-
before we
You
do.
know what I mean? Like,
No, yeah.
I think,
We not throw everything down there? 5-gallon bucket.
this, what we're doing now is
Yeah, well,
really a trial
human
for us
nature should
to
happen.
observe.
Yeah.
Is this an issue, right, of people throwing things down there that shouldn't? Or is this a plumbing issue? Because if we go the next 3 months where staff are the only ones using the bathroom, there's no
issues.
issue.
Then we know.
Well, then we kind of know, okay, this is an
Yeah,
issue of
yeah,
things.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, like is there kids just running there with unattended?
Taking a diaper off.
They got handfuls of wood chips in their pockets.
yeah.
Listen, I listen.
Yeah.
We were all kids at one point.
So, we're working on it and
I'm just saying.
wanted to make sure everyone was aware of that.
Yeah, I got rid of laughs. There it is.
And then the last item is very excited to announce that we will be putting forward a fact community page as part of our website. So, you see social media is heavily relied on in the community. People go there for information, but there's a lot of misinformation out there. So, but people want the information, more accessible and, don't always want to have to call town hall or send an email to someone. So what we're implementing in the beginning of April will be a link off of our website. People can go in, ask any questions they have of the town, whether it's, all 4 of our wells down or whatever it could be, anything operationally. And then we will guarantee a response within 48 hours. It'll be directly responded to them. And then we can also post it so other people, when they log on, can see, John Bruno asked a question, see the question, and see the response from us. So Caesar's been great. He's been working on that. And like I said, we're looking to go live with that beginning of April.
Nice.
Answer the questions, you are?
I'll facilitate, and then anything I don't know, I'll reach out to, whoever would have the answer, and I'll post
Just
them.
thinking 48 hours, there are times when you're not here for a week, right? You're on vacation.
I always have my phone on me. I'm always, and if not, we can, have someone else, do it if I'm away out of the office or something.
I just wonder if you should not advertise a 48-hour turnaround.
I think it's important because we want people to.
Well, maybe we do a 48-hour where if you are on, say, vacation or whatnot, Caesar takes it over, or
Yeah, we can have
someone.
We'll add someone else to it, but we definitely, I think the 48 hours is reasonable.
Yeah.
And most of it are they're pretty simple things, right, that we know operationally because we're in it every day, but someone who's not doesn't know, so then they ask the question, we can provide them the answer.
In 48 hours, if you ask a question on Friday, it means you have to have an answer on Monday. So,
Yeah, and the goal is to provide the answer, or if it's something that's really in-depth and thorough, we'll respond and say, just want to let you know, we're working on this.
It's gonna take a while.
It may take a little longer, but the general consensus is we want to get people an answer in 48 hours.
at least maybe acknowledge it is a better way of referencing
Sure.
it. So if it's an easy answer, you can easy answer it. If it's somebody else needs to do the work, then, okay, we got it, we're working on it.
Can we call it just the Halifax?
Sure.
You're always looking at that. You love it. You literally wrote that down, didn't you?
Cody's Corner?
Yeah.
Just the Halifax?
We did this in my previous community. It
was
worked
so
very
quick
well.
and stuff.
The 48 hours wasn't an issue. And yeah, I mean, if someone's it's a team approach. So yeah, maybe things, hey, Jonathan, you know the answer to this. Can you take care of this one? Sure. Or, Caesar, take whatever it may be. But,
Okay.
cool. That is it for my updates.
Exciting.
All right, anything else to come before the board? Are you here for anything in particular, or you just like
No, I just came
entertainment?
to introduce myself when you guys are done.
Oh,
Running for state rep.
okay, all right. Yep.
Do you want to sit
You
down?
want
You want to, we got the camera, go ahead.
Shot, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and your name and we,
Well, I was gonna make my official announcement on April 11th, but since I'm here. Put me on the spot. My name's Eric Mosquito. I'm a lobster fisherman by trade, graduate BC High, UMass Boston. Worked in the financial services arena in Manhattan and Philadelphia. Came home because I'd rather get my hands dirty. Love being on my boat. And you'd never know me ever if they would have just left me alone on the water, but they don't. The government doesn't leave me alone there either. So I felt compelled to throw my hat into the ring. I actually ran last year. We made a pretty good showing of it. It was a late start for me with no team. This year I have a team.
so this is the seat that Josh Cutler just vacated?
No, sir, this is
This is
Monatra's
Monatra's seat.
Well, So for Halifax, I would have precincts 1 and 2A,
Yeah.
which is a little more than half the town, I guess. But
So anybody's running for state rep, I have 2 questions for you. and I know I'm putting you on the spot, so.
Go ahead.
First question is,
I'll either learn.
the first question is, and this is something that's bothered me for a very long time, is what would your position be on putting Halifax back together? In other words, we're a tiny little town, and we have 2 state reps. And what I'm always told is, well, you get twice the service. Well, frankly, we don't, because we're so small, we really don't matter that much to either side.
And you don't have representation and cut the seat now anyways.
Well, that's right, well, that's right, he's gone. But even when the seat's filled, we have 2. It was back together again maybe 15 years ago. I think Tom O'Brien maybe is the one who helped put it together. I don't know, somebody did. But at least at that point, I felt like the town had, that the state rep, whoever it was, had some incentive to show up once in a while, to talk to us, to come and see. So I think it's an important thing. I know it can only be done every 10 years, I think, or something like that, but something that my own view, our town has gotten a disservice by being split over and over again.
I'm a common sense kind of guy. It doesn't make any sense in my mind for one seat to have 1 in 2A and then another seat to have 2. We could swap out the piece of Pembroke or the precinct and a piece in Middleborough. Like, why not just give one of those back?
Why split them anyways?
And keep Halifax together. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sure somebody has a reason. I mean, we know it's gerrymandering. Obviously Summer ran a couple times and she was starting to make some pretty good headway. The last time they redistricted, they moved the line, it was 4 houses past where she was and pushed her out of the district. So I don't know if that was done intentionally. I mean, I could go down my rabbit hole and say yes, but I don't know. I wasn't there when they made the decisions, but it sure be, it doesn't make any sense to break a little town apart.
No, I agree.
Plymouth has 2 reps. One rep has almost all of Plymouth, and then the 12th Plymouth seat has 5 precincts in North Plymouth. They need it because it's so big. There's got to be a way to put Halifax back together.
I would like to see that, and I'd also like to see us tied in, I don't know where you're coming from, but more in the Kingston side than the Hanson side. I have no problem with Hanson, it's just that our school is Kingston, Plimpton, Halifax.
Silver Lake.
Right, Silver Lake, and it seems to me crazy that we have a rep, that our rep, at least on my end of town, is, and that'd be where Josh Cutler is, and that's Hanson, Duxbury, right? And we really have the lake, but we don't have a whole lot of interaction necessarily, but we do with Kingston and Plimpton. So to me, it makes more sense for us. Now, I don't know about the rest of the world, but for Halifax, it makes more sense to have one rep who is in that area, and that we all have the same interest. Like you just heard us talk about the budget for Silver Lake. That's a big deal thing that I think the state reps should be at least be paying attention to.
It's a huge site for Halifax. It's a big part of your budget. I agree with you. I don't know what else to add.
Good.
To that.
I
agree
like
with you
to do
100%. It just doesn't make any sense to me. People ask me all the time, what's the district? 5 precincts in Plymouth.
Yeah.
Kingston, Plimpton, 1 in a piece of Halifax. You got a piece of...
You still have a piece of Middleborough? Do you still have one in
2,
Middleborough?
1 in 5A.
Yeah. It's
So
crazy.
there's
Yeah.
2 pieces.
that's
It
crazy.
just doesn't make any sense.
Because it's all split,
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at you can draw a circle and say, okay, that makes sense, but if you understand how our communities work, we have almost no connection to Plymouth, right? And we have very little connection to Oak Point, which is the district down there, a little bit, because they come to Walmart every day, but outside of that, and then we really are connected to Kingston, Plimpton, and we ought to be together, so, I'm good, that's good.
I agree with you 100%. I don't see any reason to have it broken up.
The other question I have for everybody running is, and you heard us talk about a little bit tonight about this MBTA zoning. Do you have a thought about that, or have you thought about that? And again, I know I'm putting you on the spot, so.
No, that's all right. I don't like it. I don't like that the state comes in heavy-handed and tries to like force it on towns. Milton voted it down. Warren Haley came up and said, it's the law. And Andrea Campbell's out there pitching rental properties as the American dream. I don't think the American dream, first of all, is to live in debt for your whole life, and it's more build your assets and be free from that sort of thing, in my opinion. And then with regards to that's the law, it seems very arbitrary as to what laws they're going to enforce versus what laws they will not enforce. I mean, we can pick on the migrant situation. It's two things that make those people legal: a green card, or they become a naturalized citizen. And then there's like an H-1A, whatever. There's another thing for people to come in and study and work. But it's basically the green card and be a naturalized citizen. And basically with this right to shelter law, which should be for citizens, they're letting these people, and we have this injury on our southern border, and our state is enabling that. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound, you know? Oh, well, this is Kathy Lenatra said. I'm working around the clock on the humanitarian crisis. Our Constitution's for our citizens. They have no right to give your tax dollars to these people. I guarantee you there's some wonderful people that have come across the border. Doesn't make it right. We also know there's a lot of bad people that came across the border. So, we need our border. So for her to arbitrarily choose one law over another tells me she's not doing her job, for starters. I mean, I can go on, but I think you get the basic idea where I stand on that.
Okay, good.
Yeah. No, just, Eric, I recognized a couple of our meetings before.
Yeah.
Do you have your take on Halifax? What's your vision for town, if you're going to be representing the community? What are your strengths, weaknesses? What do you see Halifax as, and what do you think we should be?
So I've always known about Halifax because we had family friends that lived there. And actually a cousin of mine lives right over on 106. Never knew where it was until I ran for office. Seriously.
Yeah, like a lot of people.
Yeah, I know, till I moved here.
Same thing with Clinton. You see it on the highway, Clinton, like that. Never even heard of it.
Yeah, they spelled Plymouth wrong.
Yeah. So I love this community. I would love to see this community be able to maintain its character. Like the idea of high density housing here with like the MBTA stuff and the 40Bs, the 40Rs, is it really for this town? I mean, people come to a place like this because they want some land, they want an acre. And an acre is not even a lot of land. It really isn't. So, think about the people that, I guess, would come to a town like this and put down some money and say, all right, I get a few trees, there's a river in my backyard, I get some wetlands, and I see some deer in the morning, and they want to urbanize it. Look at Boston, look at all the major urban areas. There is an abundance, there's a big inventory of housing there. My daughter's living in my place in Plymouth. The rents that she's finding today, because she wants to move out, are more expensive here in this region than in the cities.
Really?
And I just found that out today. I was like, can't be. The city's always more expensive. She's like, I'm telling you, it's not. Because they're pushing everybody out to the suburbs. If people want to move to the suburbs, let them do it on their own dime. I don't want to pay for it. And I don't think you guys should have to pay for it either. That's basically what they're doing to us. It's a heavy-handed maneuver by the state to push their problems, in my opinion, out of the urban areas.
Well, I like what I'm hearing.
Well, good luck. I hope.
Yeah, wish you luck.
Hope for the best.
Wish you luck.
So,
You want to send me papers?
Sure.
I wasn't ready to be put on the spot, man. Years ago. So you can't, 1 and 2A?
He's.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've come.
They switched it all up on me.
Then you.
I'm 2A.
Yeah.
I can,
Yeah,
right?
you can. We can.
You're not even Halifax, though.
No.
I'm
But you're,
Am I literally 2A?
Yeah, you guys are unrepresented right now.
One or two, wherever Mrs. Mulready used to sit, that's where I go. She's not there, I don't know where to go.
And as you sit unrepresented, Representative Buck, U.S. Congress, resigned. They're already planning a special election for him.
Ward? Is that 2A?
I don't have to do that.
All right. Oh, good.
The clerk will do it. Where are they gonna do?
Some people fill it in though, and I'm like, I don't even listen to that.
Restaurant level?
Yeah. Or just remember it. Oh my
A
God.
month and a half, 2 months ago? And Mariano.
Oh, nowadays when they switch that.
That representation. He's the one that's holding it up at the State House. So, I mean, you guys, quite frankly, should all be calling. And I think coming from you as the chairman of the board, that'd have a little bit more impact.
I would hope so too, but so far it doesn't work out that way.
No, honestly, I don't think they listen. I mean, I'm sitting here listening to Jeremy and these gentlemen about the airways. Commercial fishing, I'd love to see this open up because that will provide more forage species for us.
Yep.
You know? So I'm always involved in these things. And what I've learned is not so much the state, but the federal government doesn't listen to us. They have their agenda, and then they're like, okay, we have to go through this list of procedures, and we have to do public comment. And we all come in, we make our public comment, and then they just do whatever they want to do anyways. We need to change that. We need to get our constitution back. We need to get our state back. We need to follow this troop and get more people to town meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Thanks
good
for
luck.
coming.
Good luck to you.
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
All right, so we're all done. You don't have anything else to take? So we'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Unanimous.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thanks for